Hi, my name is Victor Getz. I'm one of the two founders of iits-consulting. And basically in the last 2 weeks, I was a lot of conferences as a speaker and was talking about self-healing infrastructure. And today I want to show you some results because I promised some results regarding how you can use a private LLM with RAG and how you can embed it into the infrastructure so that the infrastructure uses the private LLM information, the internal documentation to self-heal its infrastructure. So how does it work? Maybe you guys know there's a tool which is called HolmesGPT, and I use HolmesGPT together with our iits.ai solution. And I want to dive directly into that. The first thing is what I wanted to do is first we need to add our documentation there. So what do I mean by that? So we just go to the browser. I will open URL to our Confluence, for example. We will create here new content. So I click on plus page, and inside this GitHub project there's all the files which I will use today. First, I will set some standards. So what I wanted to do is I want to create the error situation inside our Kubernetes cluster and then let Holmes solve it. So what I thought about what we will do now is we will create a very simple setup. So we'll have a container running, which is called Nginx pod. We will have a servicer we will have running, and then we will have also Ingress is running. But the failure in this kind of setup, I just thought of a dummy case, is that the Ingress class name is Nginx, but the company policies, it's just like, it's not official, but inside our company we use a lot of traefik. So mostly we use the traefik ingress controller. In this case, we make it like a dummy company-wide standard. So no Ingress class Nginx is allowed. The only thing is traefik, which is installed in the Kubernetes cluster. And so the solution should be, if you switch this one from Nginx to traefik, then it should work. So if we apply these files, then we will see here, get pods, we have here the Nginx pods, and we have here the Ingress. And you can see the Ingress class does not have a public IP address. This one I want to solve it now with LLM. So, and what I will do now is I will say Holmes. Before that, I added the API token. So if you want to use it at home, so you need to set here the API key and then the base URL. If you're using ChatGPT or OpenAI endpoints, then you need to change this one or just unset it if you want to by default open with ChatGPT. But this is not a good way to do it. That's how I explain it to you now. So the only Ingress controller which I have installed in my cluster is a traefik Ingress class. And that's why my Ingress here is not working. So I ask Holmes, why does my Ingress, my awesome Ingress from the namespace test does not have a public IP? So now it goes to OpenAI and it gets the information. And it says, lacks the public IP, possible reason, missing annotation for external IP allocation, Ingress controller not provisioning the IP, which is nice, but not very super awesome, you know, like not astonishing. So basically, if I would give this information to ChatGPT with the context and everything, that then it would also give me the same result. So, but we want to go further. So I have here this company Ingress policy. So what does it say? Blah, 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 to send site network traffic within a Kubernetes cluster by exclusively using traefik as the Ingress controller. I just auto-generated this one. So the rule is there's a traefik Ingress controller installed in the cluster Nginx or other Ingress controllers are not allowed to be installed. So what I will do now is the following. I will just go back here and go to my Confluence page and we'll add this part. There is the Company Policy Ingress Controller. So then we copy this part and copy this here. So we just keep it like this. So display text. Yes, this looks nice. So we don't need formatting. Normally would have formatted properly. And then we go to publish. And then I publish this one. So we have a company policy about the Ingress controller. And now we first what we need to do is we need to get this information inside from our Confluence page to our private LLM solution. So we simply refresh, because we're working here with OEDC. And how can you do that? So I created here iits.ai demo. Okay, so I set here the source name, added here my email address, API token, and set here the domain name, which is exactly this one. If I do this one, I make a retest. Yeah, all connections have passed. Maybe your question is, can I use just Confluence, or can I use other sources? All of the sources which are here inside Airbyte are all working. So you can also use, for example, S3 buckets. You can use whatever you want, for example, Azure Blob Storage. Or if you want to website crawler, I would recommend Epify. So basically it's a website crawler which gathers all your data. But if we have the source, we need to connect this one now. So how do we get this information to private LLM? Because we have just a source now. I click to new connection here, set iits.ai, set up the destination, iits.ai. Then it fetches all the information. So we say we want to just have the pages, because some pages we defined that. We don't want everything, because it would be too much information. We want to have the body and the title. For sure you can send also everything, but it's better just to have the information which you really want to have. Then no prefix set. Yes, you want iits AI. Basically it will be iits_AI _pages. Finish and sync, and then we go to JIP history, because he will start syncing directly. You can also set how you want to sync, every 24 hours, every hour, whatever you want to have as a frequency. Then he syncs it now. Job succeeded. So because he needs to boot up the container and all those things, and fetch the results, makes the embeddings and all the cases. So then we go back to our chatting platform, make hashtag ETS conflict pages. Is Nginx allowed? Question mark. No, Nginx not allowed. Ingress control according policy. Is traefik allowed? Yes, traefik is allowed and mandatory for Ingress resources. So this one works already. And now let's check this one inside our code again. So I have here a different terminal open, which is called HolmesGPT iits.ai. Therefore, I set here the open base URL to dev iits tag. And what we will do is we will ask him the exact same question again. So you can see here, this one is the different one. We use the Holmes with the RAG pipeline, so it should use the data. If I just leave away the RAG one, it will execute the task without the RAG, so basically without the information which we just added, but it does not make sense. So yeah, based on the question which we are defining here, and based on the context which he is giving over, there's a typo, he will choose the right information and the right input streams to answer this question. So long story short, let's just do it and let's execute this command and let's see what is his result. And you see here the message, AI, it seems that your Ingress class is set to Nginx, which is not allowed according to the company policy. Amazing, right? The policy states that all Ingress resources must be specified traefik as the Ingress class. So here are the arguments then. So please update your Ingress resource to use traefik as the Ingress class. You can see here, here's still a formatting issue, it's still work in progress. But as you can imagine, these are how it should look like. So it uses our company policy to determine what it needs to change. So let's check. We go inside here, change this one to traefik, and then we say kube control, delete ingress, my awesome ingress, kube control. We go into the folder, files, kube control, apply -f, deployment YAML. I created it, kube control get svc, and external p none. Control describe svc. I was so most worried Here we can see classes traefik, address is 80. Was there already 80? I was describing the service. My bad, I'm sorry. Ingress, you can see there's a public IP address now and it's reachable. So this is amazing. And this is the capabilities what HolmesGPT with a private LLM has. So basically the results are way much better than there. So what is the forecast? We can do a lot more things. We can define security policies inside our companies, how the security inside Kubernetes, Docker, whatever can be, because HolmesGPT supports also Docker and other tooling. We can use automated pull requests then to automatically change inside our source code the things and then make a pull request. So there's a lot of possibilities. So we can define a checklist. So what I would recommend is to transform then what I'm done on the CLI tool, so the Holmes command, that we will do it inside the cron job, which runs periodically. For example, every 5 minutes, every day, it checks for errors and then alerts them to Slack and later makes automatic pull requests. Yeah, we can do it for security, some policies which we are defining, naming pattern. So there's a lot of things which you can do.